Right, man. Okay, so today what I'm going to talk about, um, the best dopamine detox method I have ever used. So uh, it's actually back in 2023 where I was heavily addicted to cheap dopamine. Cheap dopamine, for example, they are cheap dopamine like highly tangible, like not tangible, sorry, like highly processed food, junk food, alcohol, and yeah, yeah, alcohol, video games. You know, I have, and of course porn also. So what happened was at that height of my addiction, my dopamine addiction, like cheap dopamine addiction, I have symptoms of ADHD. You see, I couldn't really focus on anything much, and it is actually a very contradicting feeling that I have inside, because I couldn't focus on anything, but I was also highly depressed of my current situation. So I was constantly thinking of how can I get out of the situation, but I am still relying on all these cheap little dopamine sources to satisfy myself. And I think this is what it means to be, in some sense, depressed and having anxiety. I think that's the real form of depression. So what happened was, I think back in 2023, I'm trying to think how to process the story. So in 2023, it was just I had enough. The situation was so bad. I was about 80 kg, 89 kg ish. Yeah, about 89 kg. I was in the heaviest. I was fat, like honestly fat. I was addicted to alcohol. I was addicted to porn, and it actually took a toll on me. If you look now, like way before that, my skin was really bad. I had no life on my, you can tell that I had no life. I looked listless, I looked tired, I looked drained. And that was when I actually took action to kind of sign up to the gym. That's the first step, and also look for solutions on how to kind of get myself out of the rut, kind of get myself out of all this addiction. So that's when I first started fasting. So I first started fasting because it was the easiest thing to do to get our system back in place. So I just jumped on it actually. I didn't really read on it. I kind of know like 16-8, like kind of like, sometimes when you look into YouTube, sometimes they will gamify it and say like, okay, the best way to lose fat is your 16-8 fast. Stay hungry for 16, don't eat anything for 16 hours, and for the rest of the 8 hours you can eat whatever you want. That kind of video, which was really popular back then. Okay, going to set the angle lower because my arms are tired. So what happened was, I kind of know about 16-8. I had a mentor who was sharing with me that, this is one of the techniques that you can use, We spoke a lot about masculinity and health. Basically, I will think of it as, I call it ancestral health, like health that our ancestors have been, health techniques or health or the way of life that our ancestors have been living. So, like fasting, that's number one. Fasting has been documented since BC, like 400 BC. Hippocrates actually documented on fasting. So basically, fasting, what he says is that to feed a sick person food is to feed his disease. So he actually advocated on fasting being the healthiest way of life. You see, it's actually a natural state to be fasted, and yeah, I will take it as I will categorize it as like, ancestral way of living. And if you really think about it, we are around because our ancestors have been living like this, and that's the reason why we are around, isn't it? That's a way of life. That's a way of life that they've been living. Okay? And overall, in modern day, we have been sold all sorts of nonsense on like having 3 meals a day. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day, kind of thing. And we actually buy into it. And look at what happened. If you look around, we have more and more unhealthy people around. So, rational, irrational, whatever it is, if you look at the statistics, it's very clear. So, yeah. So, I drifted a little bit. So that's fasting. I went on to fasting, and the first day I started fasting, I fasted for 20 hours. Yeah, I fasted for 20 hours, close to a 24-hour day fast. Means that I went without food for 24 hours, only black coffee. Black coffee is the one thing that, that it's like, to me, it's like a savior drink, because I absolutely love black coffee, like sugarless black coffee. So anyway, 20 hours, and the next day I did the same thing, 16, 18, 20 hours. I did it consecutively for 1 month, and what happened was, I'm not exaggerating, but I was 80 kg, 82 kg, 20% body fat. I was having like a tummy here, okay, kind of thing. And within 1 month of fasting, I didn't even really manage my diet. Like, I didn't like aim to have like super high protein and cut out like junk food. I just live my life. I mean, naturally at that point of time, I didn't really have the craving to eat any junk food. Like, honestly, I think that's the main reason why I felt that fasting was the best. Like, fasting really helped my dopamine receptors heal, because when I was doing that 20-hour fast and 16 to 20-hour fast every day, sometimes I even have like 1 meal per day. I really never think of any junk food. I take it as I'm giving my time for my nervous system to heal, my dopamine receptors to heal, because they have been fried out already. So anyway, after that I had like, I lost, and I kid you not, after 1 month, okay, I'm starting to see my pecs already. So which means that I have dropped from like about 25% body fat, 22%, 25% body fat to under 20% body fat. So it might not sound a lot, but if you are aware of body fat, like if you're in the fitness and like diet, like fitness and health industry, I won't say industry, but health as circle, you know that it's really very hard to lose that few percent of body fat. Yeah, so it was so quick and so efficient, and in the process of it, I actually felt better. Like, my energy level is really regulated. I can sleep really late at night and wake up really early in the morning, but I still feel very energetic. So, yeah, this is why I feel, this is a tip. So if you are really feeling like really burnt out and depressed in some sense, lack of motivation, that's one big factor, and you're seeing yourself like couldn't focus on a single task very well, you're always constantly scrolling, for example, I recommend doing like a fast. Like really do like, you don't need to start like 16 or 20 hours. You can do like a 12-hour fast and slowly extend it to about 16 hours. Only have like black coffee, and you can there are a lot of people who are saying that you shouldn't have sweeteners, like because technically sweeteners are, they say that sweeteners as like sweeteners like equal or like sucralose, or and a lot of beverages and food, they all have sweeteners. Like for example, Coke Zero, it doesn't have any calorie, but it tastes sweet because there's sucralose inside, like sweetener, artificial sweeteners. A lot of them believe that once you have Diet Coke and stuff, it breaks your fast because of how your body function, where when it tastes something that is sweet, you will start to actually, your body will start to secrete insulin, and when insulin is present, you will just burn sugar instead of body fat. For me, as you can see, it took me a long effort to actually explain it. I just cut it short and just think that it wouldn't. At least I choose to believe it wouldn't, and you can still have your Coke Zero, but of course, don't go overboard on the Coke Zero. Don't go extreme on the Coke Zero, on the 0-calorie drinks. Indulge, and keep it controlled. Yeah. So 20-hour fast, 16 to 20-hour fast, and yeah, that's one tip that I could give you for you to lose your body fat, and also to keep your dopamine receptors regulated. Yeah. So if you stick so far and you like the tip and the advice that I've given to you, do like and share the video. Subscribe to the channel, because if you kind of like this type of video, if you like this type of video, like where I'm just walking and kind of like sharing advice casually, as though I'm giving my, as though we are having a casual conversation. Yeah, you know what to do. Just subscribe, right?